Hello and welcome to another Tabletop Games Blog Saturday review.
It's lunchtime and the queue outside your cafe is rather long. Everyone wants you to hurry up and make them their favorite sandwich from your hugely popular menu. The pressure is on to line up slices of bread and pile them high with lettuce, tomatoes, eggs, tuna or ham. Some want theirs even toasted. Well, Crumbs. The sandwich filler game by Jay Anchel from Minerva Tabletop Games. Let me start with the artwork of the game. The amazing Rory Muldoon knocked it out of the park again. Apparently, his brief was to create 3D art that is 2D, or something along those lines. Anyway, when you look at the cards, you can really say that he met the requirements perfectly. The slices of bread look three-dimensional, but at the same time also flat. As you layer their cards on top of each other, you can see the sandwich taking shape. It makes your mouth water, even though the style is more abstract than realistic. It's a style you immediately recognize from any of the other games that Rory illustrated, and often also designed, such as Scorer or Tinder Blocks. It fits Crumbs perfectly. Anyway, let me talk about the game itself. It comes in a lovely little tuck box, which holds the cards and a number of tokens that help you keep track of what's going on as you play. I've not seen a production copy of the game, but the prototype that was sent seems pretty close to being final. In any case, Crumbs is a game that you can easily put in your jacket pocket and take with you anywhere. Set up on the table, it doesn't even take a huge amount of space. With a bit of clever placement, you should be able to play it on an airplane table. It'll definitely fit on a train table, except maybe the tiny fold-down ones. You can play it alone or two-player. I've only ever played it solo, so I can't comment on the cooperative version. Your goal is basically to use 5 actions in such a way that you can complete at least one order. If you succeed, you get 5 more actions to continue playing. If you ever fail to make a sandwich to order within those 5 actions, you lose. If you manage to complete all orders, you can add up your points to see how well you did compared to previous attempts. Mind you, completing all orders is very hard. The rulebook provides options to make a task a little easier, but even then it's going to take you a good while before you succeed. I've played Crumbs a fair few times now and still haven't managed to get to the end of the queue of waiting customers. It all starts relatively calm and collected. You look at the list of orders and start to make your plan. You have all ingredients available, so the task is pretty easy. It doesn't take long to complete the first sandwich. You will even have time to start work on 1 or 2 other orders. The problem is, the ingredients you used for the first sandwich are put to one side. They are unavailable until you replenish them, but that takes an action and you can only bring back 1 type of ingredient. Even so, your second set of 5 actions will be enough to get everything you need and complete another sandwich. You're probably also going to be able to deliver a third sandwich, but now things are starting to get tight. If you didn't plan far enough ahead, you might already start to run out of bread or toppings. You will start to really feel the pressure. However, let's assume you manage another round and complete all the orders for 2 customers. After all, everyone is on their lunch break and getting food for the office or building site. Everyone wants at least 2 sandwiches, sometimes more. So anyway, the first 2 customers go their merry way, only to be replaced by 2 more customers. The problem is, the new set of orders comes without warning. You won't have been able to plan for them, so, well, yes, Crumbs. I think you get the idea. Crumbs is all about planning ahead, but there's only so far ahead that you can look. There's no actual time pressure in the game, other than the limit of 5 actions. That means you could try and work out every step in advance. You could test out different combinations of using your actions. In fact, there's probably a perfect solution for each set of orders, but of course, the fun is not in planning everything perfectly. The The fun in Crumbs is when you just do your best and give yourself a little time pressure. Follow your gut to some extent and then see what happens. Try and resolve the challenges that arise. That's when you really see the game flourish. That's when the panic will set in that makes Crumbs such an exciting little card game. Now, for those of you who don't already know, let me just say that I'm not really a solo player. Yet, I really enjoyed Crumbs. I can see myself setting this up when I have 10 minutes and play around. It creates the same sort of addictiveness that a game of patience does. You know that the cards might be against you, but you also know that there's a good chance to win if you play your cards right. If you just think far enough ahead and have a bit of luck that your next customers aren't too demanding, then you're in with a good chance of winning. So yes, it's happy customers all round, some of whom you might recognize.
Thank you for listening to this Tabletop Games Blog Saturday Review podcast. Please check the description below for links mentioned in this episode, as well as to the written version of this article on the blog. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, give us some stars or leave a review. Please also tell your friends about me, and if you want to offer financial support, check out my Patreon Ko-fi pages, links to which you'll find in the blog at tabletopgamesblog.com. So thank you again for listening, and I hope to see you again soon.
This podcast was made possible by the generous help of my supporters. Royal Patron Sean Newman, Magic Champion John Risley, Castle Guards David Miller and James Naylor, Dice Masters Alex Bardi, Paul Grogan and Robin Kay, and Shining Lights Jacob Davis, Gavin Jones, Sarah Reed and Richard Simpson.